Okay, so I ended up hiring a car and coming down to Parliament and missing the rally, but there's remnants of the rally. They're packing up the chairs, but apparently there was hundreds, and it looked pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna go and have a yarn to some people, and I'm gonna go in and sit in on Parliament and watch it all unfold.
Wait, we're not ready yet.
Typical gays, Jesus.
What do we want? When do we want it now?
Into the mic.
Okay, let's go.
What do we want? Equal rights. What do we want? Now. What are we gonna do? Fight for it. I can't hear you. What are we gonna do? Fight for it. What do we want? Equal rights. When do we want it? Now. What are we gonna do? Fight for it. Spring Espresso, corner of Albert and Charlotte Street.
I think they're pretty excellent. Awesome. They've worked hard at it. It's paid off.
So what's your guys' role here today?
I'm here because I believe that civil rights and human rights are not a political, personal or religious agenda. And I think that political, personal or religious agendas that perpetrate discrimination are disgusting. And we should all be able to pass any legislation that supports human rights and civil rights. And I would say that it's about equality and love.
Oh, look at that. And you're also picking up after the crowd. So who are these guys? Are these guys the organisers?
No, leftovers.
Leftovers.
That we should be able to talk to.
He's happy to speak to you.
Which one's that? The guy in the outfit?
With the vest.
Where do we know from?
I don't know.
She's just hot.
Should be allowed in Brisbane and Australia because we want to be able to get married like any straight people would.
I agree.
It's
Definitely agree.
It's only right.
We need equal rights in this country, man.
We only do because it's not fair that everyone else can get married and we can't.
What do you reckon about civil unions as opposed to equal marriage?
No, they need to skip on the civil union and give us full equal rights.
So you're against the civil union bill that's going tonight?
I'm with the civil union, but they should just both. Like, straight people can get married, so why can't we? We're still human too.
Yeah,
I think that everyone should be allowed to get married to whoever they want to. No matter what race, what sexuality, whatever.
What do you say to all those people that are like, it's just opening up the flood doors and soon enough people will be marrying their dog?
Go fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
I think it's wrong because I think that you can't marry a dog in real life.
It's not fair
But
that
I
people get like, you know, like it's not opening any flood doors.
People get married in Vegas to people they've known for 3 hours. I think that...
Yeah, that's when they wake up the next morning and go, what the fuck have I done?
But seriously, they're allowed, it's legal for them to do that. I think it should be illegal for people who have been in relationships with other people of the same sex for such a long time that they should be able to get married. I don't think it's fair that there's exceptions for people who have met someone for 2 weeks or 2 hours that we can't get married. I think it's
not
wrong.
fair either. Like, you've got people out there who have been in relationships for example, 7 years, and they want to get married and they're not allowed to.
They're only allowed to be together and live together. I think that's like wrong.
What's wrong with us wearing a ring on our finger that says we're married too, apart from everybody else? You know.
What's going on? What are we here doing today?
G'day Dave, my name's Blair. I was one of the speakers at the Civil Unions Bill rally here outside Parliament House in Brisbane on George Street. Paul Crowther, who's the ALP's candidate for the Brisbane Central Ward in the coming council election, rang me today and said, could I have you as one of the speakers because you speak pretty well and you're on 4ZZZ Queer Radio from time to time, so it'd be good to have you as one of the speakers. So I was able to speak to the crowd on why it's important to make a difference. Everyone has a vote. Everybody thinks that if they're just one person, they may not be able to influence anything. But with the Civil Unions Bill, it's important to know that you, one person, have parents, you have family, you have loved ones, you have friends, and that one vote starts to grow into hundreds and thousands of voters. If you tell politicians that you have that many people who are angry that your rights are not being recognised, that you have over 30 members of Parliament inside there who are going to vote to discriminate against you, to continue Queensland's backward view of LGBTQI people, those thousands of voters simply won't be voting for politicians who vote to continue discrimination. And that's what makes the difference.
Does it depend on how many Facebook friends you have?
How many Facebook friends do I have? At last count, 1,645.
And are they all on your bandwagon?
Are all of them on my bandwagon?
Yep.
I'd say 98.97% certainly are.
Now, what's the difference for you between civil unions and equal marriage? And do you support civil unions over equal marriage, or what's the story?
No, that's a very good question, Dave. Here in Queensland, as far as any state in Australia can do, is to legislate for a partnership register, i.e. civil unions. Marriage is not a preserve of the states. We can only go so far at the state level. So what Andrew Fraser, who just happens to be my local member, has done as a heterosexual married man with children is wanting to change the law so that everyone can be recognised. And it's important to know that this civil unions bill is also for heterosexual people as well too. It's not just a gay thing. It's about everybody who wants their relationship recognised in law so that they will have the opportunity to have their wishes respected. If one member of the same-sex partnership, for example, or heterosexual partnership, doesn't matter, ends up in hospital and the family say that they are the next of kin, they will be able to block a partner's right to see their loved one who is lying ill in hospital. And there are plenty of stories about families who have blocked partners from seeing the person they share their life with, share their love with, from being able to comfort them, and unfortunately in some cases when they've passed on. Now, marriage equality is entirely different. I do not support civil unions on a federal level. It is marriage equality or nothing. The federal government has the power to, at any moment, take away 3 words in the 2004 amendment to the Marriage Act that the Howard government put in, supported by the Labor Party. They have to be called on that, they have to apologise for that, and they have the opportunity this weekend in Sydney to say, we're sorry, here's our new policy, we're going to support you 100%. Also, there should be no conscience vote. I know there's a conscience vote happening here in Parliament tonight. That is a coward's way out. You either support full equality or you do not. And if we've got people that will not support full equality, they also need to be called out. Now, I'm not asking for angry rebuttals. I'm not asking for people to come to them and come down on them like a ton of bricks. I'm asking them to challenge them. I'm asking them to say, why do you want to discriminate against me? Why do you want me to be a second-class citizen? Why are you going to stand up and be on record as continuing that level of discrimination and not valuing me as the same as you? Because that will be remembered at voting time. So we have to ask on a federal level for the Labor Party to say, we support equality. We are not the party of discrimination. We are not the party that is going to give you a second string, almost an apartheid solution. We want you to be considered full, frank members of the Australian community. We value you. We value your contribution. We want you to be a part of it.
And do you reckon Labor's going to pass it?
I believe that this weekend that the Prime Minister is going to have a very nasty shock. And I also believe that the Prime Minister inside, as a personal human being, believes in full marriage equality. But she is beholden to the very arcane way that the Labor Party has put her in power. The right wing of the Labor Party, particularly from New South Wales, has not covered itself in glory. They have been a faction of the party which is in disgrace. They have been discredited. And unfortunately, the Prime Minister is a very good lawyer. And lawyers have to be able to stand up and say something that they don't actually believe. They actually have to put out the best case forward. And I believe that the Prime Minister is up there being told by the Labor right, we've put you in power, you have to make sure that this debate never comes on. Now, she has tried at every point to not bring that debate on. She has tried to squash it, she has tried to push it into conscience vote. It's now moving away from her. She has lost this one, and she is going to come around and say, I was wrong, I am big enough to admit that, and we are going to change. I believe that this will happen because there is so much support for this. There is so much when you just talk about it being a civil right. It is not about children, it is not about morality. Never, ever is civil rights about morality. Nothing about morality is ever put up for a vote. If you want a conscience vote on morality, that's fine. That's quite all right. But marriage is not a moral issue. It's a civil right. And never should civil rights be put to the vote, because if that happened, so many people in so many democracies would be disenfranchised. That must never happen in this country.
And how do you reckon the vote's going to go tonight?
Tonight, I believe that it will pass. I have heard that the LNP are just simply going to sit there like a bunch of dumb statues, which is a pretty fair analysis of what they are, considering their contempt for Parliament yesterday when they couldn't even be bothered to turn up for a vote. I have heard that only the leader in the Parliament, Jeff Senior, the member for Callide, will get up and speak. I believe that then maybe some Labor members will speak. I believe some of the independents will speak. One of them, Rob Messenger, the member for Burnett, he can't speak because he's been thrown out of Parliament. But then again, that's no loss. Messenger is no loss.
Should we go in and check out what's going on then?
I think we should go in, Dave, and I think we're going to pass it tonight, and you will see today, which is St Andrew's Day, which I think is pretty amazing considering Andrew Fraser's put this bill up, victory will happen, and what a brilliant way to commemorate World AIDS Day tomorrow. Queensland is part of the modern world. This is a quote that I found today. The deputy leader of the ALP and the ACT posted this on his blog today. I think this is something really important. It's from Martin Luther King Jr. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle of equal rights. You will make a greater person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in.
Exciting. Waiting to get into Parliament. The line is massive though. Oh yes, got a flag. Thank you, Johan. Got a flying flag. But yeah, we've been here for about half an hour lined up. But luckily we got here early. I don't think this many people can fit in our Parliament. Yeah. Are you here for the same-sex bill thing? What do you reckon about it? Are you for it? Yeah. A bit of same-sex action. Oh, excellent. Because it's open to heterosexuals as well. Yeah. Are you excited? Do you think it's going to pass?
I think you should go ask Wendy Francis and she supports the bill.
I better go. I'll go and do it. I'll go back.
My face like that.
So what are you doing here?
I'm here supporting the Civil Partnership Bill. I'm pastor of Metropolitan Community Church in Brisbane, and I've been in a relationship for 31 years, same-sex relationship, and it's time we got this going.
And you want to be civil unionised?
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it, yeah. I rather like it. I want my partnership to be recognised here in Queensland, definitely, so I don't have to struggle to be recognised, yeah.
Are you currently a member of a union?
No, I'm not. I'm pastor of a church, so I have no political agenda.
But you want to be a member of a union?
Yeah, I want to be human rights. Yes.
It's quite funny, isn't it, that we're wanting a conservative institution,
yeah,
and they're calling it a union.
Yes.
Do you think that's a Labor ploy?
Oh, it could be. I mean, they use the civil union everywhere, so yeah, I'll call it the freedom union, freedom to be. That'd be an idea. Yeah.
And so, tell me, if this bill passes tonight,
yeah,
will you be performing civil unions in your church?
I will register for calling them. Yes, I will. Wow. Definitely, I'll be the first to join the queue to get recognised, registered, and that's why we do my own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You would do your own? Can you do that?
No, you can't.
But you currently perform. Can you do marriages now?
No, not here in Australia. I can in New Zealand.
Right.
I held both the marriage certificate and civil union certificates in New Zealand, but I'm now here in Australia. So.
Are you going to get your certificate for here?
Yes, I'm definitely going to get it. Yep.
And the first way was yourself?
Yeah, try to, yeah.
Excellent. And you reckon it's going to pass?
I believe it should pass, yeah. But don't hold me to that. But I've got a good feeling about it.
And then what about this weekend, the Labor Party conference? Do you reckon they're going to accept?
I think it'll rock a few votes, and then maybe that quite possibly will change. And Australia will catch up with the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm proud to be part of Australia. So
excellent.